Just a quick question. Is your shirt a reference to the fight of Leon against Kamaru? It's written bully because you let him bully him? I don't know.
It wasn't, but now it is, right? Yeah, my nickname's Bully B. I do see myself as a bully. I bully all these guys in the cage, so we're going to keep doing it.
And more seriously, have you something in mind for Saturday nights, like a clear way to win, like something precise?
Yeah, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to show that I'm the best boxer in the welterweight division. I'm the best fighter in the welterweight division, and I'm going to show my dominance again.
You think your boxing is underrated today?
100%. I think everything about me is underrated. People go in there and they assume stuff, but when they get into the cage with me, then they realize what it is. They realize what these hands do. They realize what this pressure does, and it breaks everybody.
Thank you very much, Belal.
Well, over here, other side, right here. You know, I'm just curious, how's camp been for this one? Because this is your first, fight week as reigning champion. Charles Radke, he was in here, and you were peaking at the same time with him. Juliana's got her fight. Yair had his fight last month, and he's just saying, seeing all these high-level fighters like in the gym at the same time is just kind of extra motivation for him to keep up. So I guess, was it like for you to just be, reigning champion here for your first fight week as reigning champion?
I mean, I didn't look at it as like I'm the reigning champion. I looked at it as, bro, your next fight is your toughest fight. It's your hardest fight. But like you said, our team, we're like a small family. So when one of us win, we all win. And we're riding high right now. We had a huge win with Ignacio Balmundez, then Yair, and then being in the camp with my brother Charlie. We're all pushing each other. We all want to see each other grow, want to see each other get better. And that's what I love about our team. Like, there's no egos. There's nothing there. Like, we all want to see each other. See, they're all here with me now. That energy is just different. It feels good. And my mentality is I got to work harder than the last fight. This version I am today is better than the version I was yesterday. The version I'm going to be tomorrow is going to be better than the version I am today. It's just about keep growing and keep getting better.
You said you're viewing this as, your next fight's always your toughest test. Do you see Jack as the toughest all-around test for you? Because you're in this unique position where you've fought in a lot of the guys already to get to the title, and now you're fighting Jack, who you didn't have history with. So I guess, is he the toughest test, or is it just that's how you have to view it?
No, you have to look at it like that, Ray. I never look past anybody. I never, underestimate anybody. So your next fight is always your toughest fight. I'm fighting the best boxer in the UFC. I'm fighting the best wrestler. I'm fighting the best grappler. So I got to train like I'm fighting all those guys. I got to train like I'm fighting RoboCop. That's my mentality every single fight. And then after the fight, it'll be like, all right, well, that was easy. So it's okay. Well, we'll see who's next.
You said, I'm not going to shoot for a takedown. I want to show off my Canelo boxing. Jack did an interview, and he said, well, I think I could get him on the feet and the ground. I'm just the better MMA fighter all around. So this fight seems unique compared to your last one where it was kind of back and forth, bad blood, and the two of you just kind of seem to be trash-talking over skill set rather than, like, personal issues. So I guess how do you view just Jack's skill set as a whole compared to, past guys?
Yeah, obviously he's a good striker. He's got a long streak going. I think he got heart. He doesn't give up. He showed his last fight with a broken arm. He still pushed through. But the difference is he's never fought anybody like me. He's never seen somebody like me. There's levels to, like, pressure. There's levels to experience. And I've been in there, like you said, with everybody. I had to take the long road to get here. He got a shortcut. He got a shortcut to the top. And it's nothing against him, right? You take whatever comes your way, but I think that's going to hurt him because when he's in there and, stuff doesn't start going his way and he's looking for his coaches to tell him something, his coaches, or trying to look to the past and think of what he did to adjust, there's not going to be no adjustments. Whatever he adjusts, I'm going to adjust better, and I'm going to break him.
I know you've been asked this 1,000 times, so I'm not going to ask again, but is it strange that a lot of fans are viewing this fight as kind of the linchpin to two weight classes, like welterweight and lightweight? After Saturday, they can start booking a lot of fights. Is it like every interview it seems to do, that seems to be one of the prevailing questions, like, oh, what about Islam? What about Ilya? What about Shavkat? What about middleweight? So is it get annoying after a while so close to a fight?
Yeah, 100%, right? But for me, it doesn't matter. Like I told all these guys, book your fights right now because I'm not leaving Saturday without the belt.
And what do you make of Usman's, he's saying, like, if you guys are backstage together, you might need extra security after the issues you guys have had.
Who?
Kamaru Usman.
the former champion on a 3-fight losing streak, I would have to be afraid of that guy with no knees and no cartilage and a big head. Nah, man, I think I'll be fine.
And what have you made of Ian? We saw you and Ian's son have a little, fun thing where he interviewed you. And what do you make of Ian's, weighing in as the backup in a possible next opponent?
I mean, I think he's doing all the right stuff, right? He took that short notice fight against a guy with a lot of hype, and he won convincingly. I think for him to step up as a backup 2 weeks later, he's talking the loudest right now, especially in a division where if Shavkat's hurt, there's not a clear number one contender, and the loudest guy in the room is going to get the call. So I think he's doing the right stuff. I think you better hope that Jack shows up, because if he does have to step in at short notice, it's going to be a bad night.
Belal, we've recently seen pictures of Hunter Campbell over in Dagestan talking to Islam, Habib in Dubai and stuff. And it seems like the vibe is they're waiting to see if you win or lose, right, if he moves up or doesn't. Is there a chance that they've made a decision to move up and challenge you without speaking to you internally? I know you guys are friends and stuff.
No, I don't think they would do that. I talk to Habib all the time. He even messaged me the other day. So, like I said, them guys are so big about loyalty, and I'm the same way.
What's the issue with you and Craig Jones going on at the moment? It seems to be a bit of back and forth online.
He's talking, right? He's a character. It's always fun again. I love guys when there's a little bit of trash talk, right? When there's a little bit of build-up. Jack's not a really big talker, so let's put Craig in the press conference.
I'm sure he would love to do that, brother. And then lastly, I just saw a video online. Colby Covington hid your food at the PI. I don't know if you're aware of that or if you even care, but curious what you think about Colby still throwing shots at you at this point.
He hid my food. I'm not even in Vegas. That's how much of a moron he is. I don't know what he's doing. These guys are like YouTubers now. Kamaru's a podcaster. Kobe's a YouTuber. They need to do a podcast together, the Biggest Losers.
And last one, speaking of that podcast, do you think there's a reason they haven't put it out yet? Or do you think they may be holding it in case he gets a title shot? Or is there a reason why? Did he come off worse is basically what I'm asking.
No, I mean, if you're a grown man and you start crying on a podcast, and it's your podcast, and you start tearing up, why would you want to put it out there? Unless there's like a really good editor that's going to try to clear it up. But I don't think they got that much money.
Belal?
Right here. Ball right over here. Other side.
Yeah. So what does a win mean here for you and your legacy, especially with GSP, who will be in the audience, especially in arguably his hometown?
It would be huge, right? Another guy with a double-digit winning streak, and to win in Montreal in front of GSP, right? To go to the welterweight division. He's on everybody's Mount Rushmore. A guy that I looked up to, I always watched when I was younger, that you always try to be like and mimic. And just the way he did it, right? He didn't use trash talk. He didn't use any like antics to get to the top. He just used hard work, and he won every single fight, dominant. And that's what I'm trying to chase, right? That's always my next goal is to. You have to have a goal when you're a fighter, right? My first goal was the gold. Now my next goal is the GOAT. So I'm chasing him, and to be chasing him and starting here in Montreal and in front of him is going to be great.
One final one for me. How has Montreal been the past couple of days?
It's been amazing, man. Every single person in here, every interaction we've had with people has been great. You can just tell it's going to be great energy at the fights. The weather's been great. So excited for it, man. I just need to get some Montreal food.
Well, right here. On one of the embedded episodes, Jack said he's going to beat you, and then it's retirement time, buddy, I think was his quote. For him to kind of, it's one thing to want to win the fight, all that, but for him to, I guess, have flashes of saying he wants to end your career, does that add anything extra for you?
No, I just think he's not really good at trash talk, so he's like trying to get like phrases and stuff from like Craig Jones or something like that, but I'm not even close to being at the end. And if he thinks it's going to be that, it's going to be a long night for him. I think I'm going to go in there. I'm going to break him. And for him to just keep adding these little words, these little phrases, right? He's going to, I'm going to save the division. I'm going to save this. I'm going to do that. I just can't wait for him to eat his words and eat these fists.
And when he says, or I know you had said before the last fight, and I think it was a little bit taken out of context, the idea of maybe if you didn't beat Leon, that would have been the end for you. Do you think that's maybe in people's heads still somewhere thinking like, once Belal loses, he's going to move on?
No, it's not. We're not going to lose. We're going to continue winning. And like I said, I'm here to build the biggest and best legacy the world has ever seen. And I started young. I started late, right? I started at 23 years old. My body feels good. It's the strongest I ever felt, the best I ever felt. We still got 10 more years in us. So when Jack gets to, 38, then maybe I'll give another rematch.
And I know it had taken you a while to get to the spot, and I'm sure you probably wish this was your second or third title defense before the injury happened. So, like, when you get through this fight the way you want to, are you wanting to make a quick turnaround and maybe defend the belt again 1 or 2 times this year?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I love to stay active. I love to push it. And like I said, we're a small team. So right after this fight, we're back in the camp. Nacho's fighting Fiziev. So I got to get back to work. So I got to make quick, light work of Jack and come out uninjured and then start throwing kicks at Nacho.
What have you heard about where Shavkat is at right now? Because, we haven't heard too much about his health. He's not, I don't think, going to be here this week. Do you feel like he's going to be healthy enough to fight on your timeline after this? Or are you maybe going to look at Brady or Buckley if he wins or one of those guys?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't heard anything. I haven't been looking for anything. I just been, like, fully concentrated. My target's on Jack. After I beat Jack, finish Jack, then I can start looking at these next guys. But my mindset, we're locked in right now.
Belal, right here. Right here, brother.
One here, yeah. International agents. I know you mentioned them yesterday. Refer the international agents. Usually, a rock star when they get on stage, they get to introduce their crew. Could you tell us, because they've been with you forever, what these gentlemen do for you and who they are?
Oh, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, obviously head coach. That's the man at the helm, Mike Valley. I think the best coach in the world that doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He got 2 world champions, and we're just a small gym in Chicago. We're the only gym in the world with 2 world champions. That's my brother right there, Lewis Taylor. Been with me since the beginning, since high school. I wouldn't be a fighter if I never met him, didn't get with him, and we've been on this journey together from the start. So that's to win the belt with him and to see him win his belt at PFL and come here and watch me win my belt should be a Netflix series. And obviously my brother Nacho, my main man, my main sparring partner, my main training partner, my brother. I'll do anything for him. And literally I get better and I get hungrier every single day, every time I train with him.
Yeah, Belal, just one. Where do you rate your ability to kind of talk trash and get under people's skin, right? Because initially, we saw Leon Edwards kind of playing it off. He said, it's just Belal, isn't it? And then we saw what happened. And then recently in his last fight, you got Sean Brady in the post-fight giving you a shout-out, being like, what up, Belal? We got Leon out of there. Like, thanks for getting under his skin and not even being here type thing. So where do you rate your ability right now? I'm
the best, man. None of these guys can compete with me in the trash talk. That's what I want. I need a worthy adversary, somebody that's going to try to build it up and talk. But it's just all fun to me, right? Like you said, now they're all trying to be friendly with me because they're like, man, I don't want to talk trash to him because he's going to embarrass us. So let's just keep it friendly until we get to fight night.
Belal right here. You talked about taking the long road to get here. You've also in the past talked about, the journey is not complete until you're considered the best welterweight to ever do that. So what does that look like to you? Is it chasing GSP's records? Is it quality of competition? Like, how do you measure what's going to make you the best welterweight?
I think quality of competition, right? When you look at the guys I have in my resume, they're some of the best to ever do it. So now these young up-and-comers that have these long streaks, so I end some of these streaks. I take some of their O's. And I think it's just inevitably going to happen where they're going to talk about it, right? Where GSP is like 10 in a row or title defenses in a row. We're chasing that. We could reach that, but I think I'll be good enough with my resume where you'll be like, he's right next to him. He's competing with him. Like they were always talking about Kamaru and him. There's not going to be no talk after I'm done. It's just going to be me and GSP. That's it. There's going to be nobody else in the conversation.
And just one more. I mean, there are fighters who will say that you're not the champion until you defend the title. So do you have that mindset, or do you not pay attention to that?
No, I'm the champion. I won it. I earned it. But for me, it's we're not defending the belt. We're fighting for the belt again. That's always my mindset. I'm not coming in here, as the guy that's being hunted. I'm the hunter. I want Jack's record. I want Jack's streak. I want Jack's soul.
Thank you.
Belal, right here. Over here. In your career, obviously, as has been said many times today, you've taken the long road to get to the top of the mountain. Is there any particular moment that you can pinpoint in your rise up to become champion where, something changed and you got yourself to an elite level status?
Yeah, I think after beating Wonder Boy, he was one of the guys that, you always watched. He fought for the title twice, and I was so nervous to fight him. And I've seen a couple of camps with like Anthony Pettis and Woodley in there, and it was like, they're like, man, he's nothing like these guys. He's nothing like this. So going in there and dominating him like that like showed me that I belong with the elite. and I'm good enough to be the champion.
Obviously, Ian Gary is the stand-in opponent if anything happens. You've kind of somewhat poured cold water over him being the next challenger. Normally, when we do see someone coming in as a backup fighter, they do get the next shot. How do you feel about that whole situation?
No, I didn't pour cold water over. I said he's the one talking the loudest, right? I think when you're looking at the guys in the division, he had a big win over Pratis. Brady had a big win for Leon. Shavkat has a win over Ian. And then you got Kamaru and Buckley about to fight right now. So there's a lot of movement that's going to be happening. And like you said, the Ian's waiting up as a backup. He stepped up on short notice. So, I mean, if the UFC calls, we're answering no matter who it is.
Thank you.
Well, just one more. I know you made the Canelo hands quote a couple months ago before he had just fought this last weekend, and obviously there was a very low output from him. Are you still promising the Canelo hands, or do you want to amend the quote a little bit now?
Well, it wasn't his fault. It was his opponent's fault. He was just moving. He was trying to survive, right? And it's hard to do like that. Jack's not going to do that. I think Jack's going to step in front. And when he stands there in front, he's going to get hurt.
Just curious, who do you have in the Usman and Buckley fight?
Usman and Buckley? I got Buckley. I think Buckley's riding high right now. He has a long streak. Usman's been out for 2 years. And when you're out for 2 years, it's hard to come back.
Jack, on the cusp of a first title shot in the UFC against a dominant champion, dominant performances by Belal. How are you feeling ahead of your chance at gold?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It feels like any other fight week, and I feel like all the preparations have gone well. I feel like I've left no stone unturned. I'm ready to go out there and perform.
It's funny, right? This one sort of came to you a little bit unexpected. You know, you were sort of preparing, I think it's for Leon, right? And then suddenly this title shot comes to you. Does that give you an extra fire, or are you just putting in the miles and the work in the gym anyway, so it doesn't really matter if there's a gold belt on the line? You're going to be putting in the work as hard as you can anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, fighting for this is the big one. You know, I've been working at this for a long time. But yeah, just for another fight, you know, 5-rounder. I was prepping for a 5-rounder, and now fighting the best guy in a 5-rounder. Couldn't put all the work in. Toughest fight of my life.
Belal's a funny one, right? Because everyone sort of looks at him and thinks, okay, forward pressure, lots of takedown attempts, just try and control you. So in a way, you would think, okay, that gives me something that I know what I have to prepare for. But then he's coming out and saying, no, he's not going to go for one takedown. He's going to beat you on the feet and all this, maybe trying to play with your mind a little bit. What exactly have you prepared for from Belal?
I mean, I guess all you can do is just watch his previous fights, and just that's what you can expect. You know, I think his bread and butter is pushing a high pace, mixing it up, takedowns, striking. So yeah, I try not to listen too much to what he's going to say, and just prepare as to what we see in his previous fights.
I don't think it's out of line to say that sometimes he doesn't really connect with the fan base. Do you feel like you're getting a lot of support from the fans to try and get this guy out of the title picture?
Yeah, I feel like I've got good fans, you know, fans that have stuck by me for a long time, and I think they believe in me. I mean, I appreciate my fans, but yeah, that's it. I'm just coming in here to do a job.
And I believe I saw you say in an embedded that you think he's had a nice run, but it's time for him to retire, buddy. What exactly are you going to do to him to make him walk away from the sport on Saturday?
I'm going to try and finish him dominantly, you know. That'd be the way I'd like it to go down. Dominant finish, and then, yeah, that's up to him at that point, what's next for him.
You know, Belal was just in here, and you know, we talked a bit about how this fight compared to Belal's previous fight against Leon, there's a lot of bad blood, but here it's you guys. Your trash talk is just, I'm better at grappling, I'm better at striking, I'm better at MMA. It's much more skill based trash talking. Is that something that you prefer, or is if you do become champion, you might have, you know, guys kind of trying to pick at you, kind of like what Ilya did to Volk, and Volk was like, I kind of like this because it brings more attention to the fights.
I mean, whatever. I'm just going to be myself. Yeah, I'm a professional, you know, so I'm just coming in to take him out. He can say what he wants. I'm prepared for it all.
And there is probably as much tape on Belal as anyone in the welterweight division against, you know, Wonder Boy, high-level striker, Damian Maia, and Gilbert, high-level grapplers. So I guess, have you seen this massive progression that I guess fans seem to think Belal took this big leap in skill? Or if you break down tape on him, has he always been this good and people have just been overlooking him for a long time?
I think he's always been pretty good, you know. He's always done what he needs to do to win, and I think that's his strong suit, you know. He's a winner, so it's a tough fight. It's a tough guy to beat, but I believe we've got the skills. There's a lot of tape on him, so yeah, I've been studying, and I think I've got the ability to beat him.
And then just last one for me, I asked Belal this too, and he said it is kind of annoying that pretty much every interview he does, it's how does this fight shape two weight classes, right? Lightweight and welterweight, and even middleweight if Belal wants to go to middleweight at some point. So is it annoying for you too that you're fighting for your first title and everyone seems to be asking, well, what's next, even though the fight hasn't even happened yet?
I mean, it's sort of, it kind of always happens, you know. It's always what's next after this, but yeah, I've got my eyes on Belal. I'm going to get through Belal and then see what happens.
Just one right here, Jake. Belal confirmed that he wants to beat you on the feet. Do you think he wants to play mind game with you, or do you actually think he believes that? Like, that's what my question, because it seems a little bit odd that he wants to beat you on your style.
I mean, I think he's hoping, and I think he believes in himself. I believe he believes in his striking, and I think obviously the fight's going to start striking, so I think he'll test it out. But I think when he gets uncomfortable or when he feels that the advantage might be leaning towards me, I think he'll lean back to his bread and butter.
Yeah. So you expect him to shoot early in the fight or to try to box at the beginning?
I'm not expecting too much. I think he's shown in the past that he mixes it up, so I think he'll strike a bit, mix it up, shoot takedowns, expect it all.
Last one for me, predict a third round knockout. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think a third round knockout sounds pretty spot on.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Jack? Yeah. Just one over here. So it's been about 10 years since the UFC has been in Montreal. I mean, what can Montreal fans, and even Canadian fans for that matter, expect Saturday night?
Yeah, I think this is the high-level match, you know, especially my match. It's the champion versus a solid contender, and I expect a tough fight, you know, tough 5-rounder.
Thanks.
Jack, right here. You win this fight, you know, you'll get the big paycheck, have lots of opportunities coming your way. Do you use that money to get the nose surgery, or does that wait till the end of the career?
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Jack.
Good one.
I just kind of want to go off one of Jose's questions earlier. What specifically about Belal do you think it is that some of these guys don't take serious about him, and then they go into the fight and they think, man, maybe I should have taken him a little bit more serious, you know what I mean? Just like we saw it with Leon when he was at the media day. He said, oh, it's just Belal, isn't it? You know, so is there anything specific about Belal? Like, is it his character? Is it the way he acts? Or is it...
I don't know. I don't necessarily think people underestimate it. I think it would be silly for anyone to underestimate anyone in this sport, but I think he's just proven that he's better than these guys, you know. I think that's the bottom line. That's what I believe. I believe he's better than everyone he's fought, and that's why he's got the victory.
And then what's the interactions been with Ian Gary this week? Because we see him running around. He's trying to play jokes and do banter. Like, he's handed me a bag of M&Ms with an autograph on it. We saw him use his kid to hand you a bag of M&Ms, talk about the weight thing. Like, does it bother you? Does it feel like, you know, the brother that's tagging along, you know, what you know, that gets asked to come out with you guys, or do you not even worry about it?
Yeah, I try not to worry about it. You know, he's doing his thing. He's staying, trying to just stay relevant, you know, I guess he's just hoping that someone falls through so he can get his spot, which is fair enough. But, I try to avoid him. Except if it's fight time, then, yeah, I won't avoid him. I'll go right in his face.
Jack over here. How's it going, mate? There's a rumour going around that if you win on Saturday, Perth will land the pay-per-view, and that if you lose, we'll get a fight night. Does this add to the stakes for you heading into this one?
I think it makes sense, you know. If Perth have a homegrown champion, why not? It'd be obviously a dream come true for me to defend the belt in Perth. I think it makes sense across the board. So whether that's something they do, I don't know. But that would obviously be a dream for me to defend a title in my backyard.
Of course. There's been a bit of noise leading into this about the Rivo Bar and Grill situation. Can you provide any clarity around that, your side of the story?
We're just doing a paid appearance thing, and Yeah, it sort of felt. I was just too much. I needed to focus on the fight, not doing that sort of stuff. But we'll do it after. When I get back, we'll make it happen. I've got a lot of fans. I've got a respect for the people that are there. So yeah, I'm excited to do that when we get back.
Yeah, well, I guess that leads into one.
With the belt, it'll be even better,
Of course, that leads into one of my other questions. What is the celebration plan if the city of Perth offered you a ceremony maybe in Forest Square? Is that something that you'd be open to?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit high key for, you'd probably like to keep it a bit more low key, but, we see the Wildcats there when they win a championship, that kind of thing. I think that would be a suitable environment.
Yeah, I think it would be a good moment for Perth, bring the belt back to our small city.
Of course. You've repped Perth since day one, and, Steve came razor close to bringing that belt back to WA. Is that something you guys have spoken about, bringing the belt back to Perth?
I haven't spoken. Yeah, it's obviously a dream of mine. Steve was he's very close, making it happen. I believed he was going to do it, but it's a tough one, tough fights at the top. Anyone can win, so it wasn't his day. I'm sure he'll be back, but I'm looking forward to bring the belt back.
Of course, and last one from me. After seeing how Edwards and Brady played out, is there a part of you that's disappointed you didn't get a shot at Leon?
I mean, it would have been I was excited for the match, but obviously this is a big opportunity, so I was happy to bypass that and take this.
Of course.
Jack, right here. You talked about, obviously you were in camp and training for a 5-round fight, so the timing works that way. And obviously this is an opportunity you have to jump on. But we talk a lot about timing in combat sports in general in terms of, guys getting to a title fight too soon or too late. Just in general, how do you feel the timing of this title fight is in the scope of your overall career?
Yeah, I think it was good timing. I think if I hadn't got the injury, my thoughts would have been I probably would have been fighting for a title at a similar time. I think I would have had to fight one of the top guys later in the year, and then I believe it's worked out the same. I've obviously missed a fight. I think perfect world would have had the fight beforehand, but I think timeline, it works out well.
And then no doubt you would have liked to have fought in Australia. Obviously, not entirely likely as the challenger, but hopefully moving forward. But just in terms of fighting in another Commonwealth country, it's not in the States, is this kind of a good second option? It's kind of neutral ground?
Yeah, for sure. It's a cool city. I've never been here before outside of the when I came for the press conference a couple of weeks ago, but I was in very quick. But it's a cool place. I like traveling, checking out new places. Yeah, it's a pleasure to fight here, especially with the welterweight division. Obviously, the man GSP is from here, so it's a bit of history in the division. But yeah, I'm excited to kick off my title run in Montreal.
Thank you.
Jack, to your left here. Jack, on the Countdown show, obviously the UFC highlighted what was not the best start to your professional career, dropping 2 fights in a row. Do you look back at those times, a couple of days out from your first title challenge, for the perseverance that you've showed to get to where you are at right now?
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously, not ideal, but you learn a lot from losses. I learned a lot from both those ones, skill-wise and then mentally as well, and just been on a tear ever since, I think most athletes lose in this sport because it's a tough sport, many ways to win and lose. But I'm glad to have got the losses behind me and all wins going forward.
Alex Volkanovski picked up a great win against Diego Lopez, reclaiming the featherweight title. Did you look at that performance and take some inspiration of it coming into your own title challenge? Yeah,
100%. Everything Volk does is inspiring. He's an Australian legend, one of the greatest athletes in our country. So, yeah, I'm fully inspired by him and what he has done and what he continues to do.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one more, Jack. Belal in here earlier said that he thinks he's the best trash talker in the sport. So I'm just curious what type of heated lines you're expecting tomorrow at the press conference.
Yeah, he all he does is talk trash. So it's I expect whatever from him. It's going to be good.
Jack, you might be the chillest guy in the UFC. Oh. When was the last time you got mad or angry at someone?
I try not to get mad too much. I can't even remember. That's a good... I don't know. Try not to get too mad at people.
What would it...
This guy asked me about my nose.
And what would it take for an opponent to get you crazy or mad?
I don't know. I think staying calm is number one in the octagon. You know, I think being anger can be at your own detriment. So I just stay calm, try and pull the shots.
So just one more. You said that all Belal does is talk. Does that mean you don't really consider his hands to be Canelo-esque?
No, honestly, no. I don't really see the resemblance in the Canelo hands. He does have good hands, but if you're talking skill-wise, I don't see the resemblance. But maybe I'm missing something.
He also said he's the best boxer in the welterweight division. Curious if you agree with that.
Yeah, good on him. You know, good on him. He's proven he's the best at the moment. Won the belt. Yeah, but I think he's good at mixing it up. But yeah, I don't know too much. His boxing's all right.
One more for me, Jack, just before. You've done some work with Craig Jones in the lead up to this fight. Do you feel that will give you an extra advantage coming in here? And what does he bring to the table as a coach for you? Obviously, when you look at straight jiu-jitsu, is a lot different than when you're implementing jiu-jitsu into mixed martial arts.
Yeah, he's obviously a good grappler, you know. He's a good grappler. He knows what he's doing. He's been in there in the corner on big fights with Volk. And, yeah, he's just been helping us out, small details, but... Yeah, he's sharpened the tools for us. I believe he's going to, he's given me some different stuff to work so I can get back to my feet.
He's definitely helping you out with the trash talking as well.
Yeah, that's it. And the after party, he's going to help us out there.
Big time. Thank you.
Sick. Thank you.
Just one more in the back.
Sorry.
Hey, Jack.
Hey.
So a few weeks back, you were training with Volk, Brad Riddell, and the Bang Tao boys. How was it training with that crew?
Yeah, it's awesome watching Volk prepare for the big fights. He's obviously been in there, big fights, multiple world title fights, just to be able to be in the room with him, see how he handles himself, see how he works, and then just, learning from him. Very experienced champion. It was a beneficial trip for me for sure.
Nice. And I think Brad Riddell is looking to fight in June. If he does, do you think you'll be training with him?
Yeah, I'd love to. Brad's the man. He's a legendary striker, and now he's making a good run in his MMA career. So yeah, definitely at some point this year, I'd be keen to train with Brad again, 100%.